what I wanted to do is I wanted to share with you a really useful sort of drill or something you can practice to improve your ball striking. And again, this video has been prompted by a lot of students that I'm working with online at the moment who are having difficulty sort of breaking habits around the impact area. So what I tend to see with the golfers when they first reach out for help is they tend to look this way. They tend to sort of chase in the downswing with the head tends to get ahead of the ball, hands tend to work a little bit too wide, and then they tend to look a little bit too sort of crumbled, a bit chicken wingy in that through swing. And it doesn't seem to matter how hard they work to make changes, they tend to struggle. Now, what I'm always trying to do with the individual is put a couple of things in place which are, you know, sound. So I'm looking for a sound posture, a relatively sound backswing. But from there, it's all about narrative. And what I mean is that little story you're telling yourself to hit that golf ball. Okay? Because one of the things that I tend to, and it's not untrue, but it depends how you do it, is sort of striking down on the ball. So I tend to see a lot of golfers think, oh, they've got to hit down on the ball this way, but the problem is if you do it this way, then your arms are always going to have to straighten up because there's no space for them. We don't want that. And that's exactly what we want to refrain from by doing this drill today. So what we're looking for, and this is what happens with a professional golfer. First of all, let me put the club across my shoulders. We're looking for a nice rotation in the backswing. Okay, a nice bit of arm structure, so nice and wide here. As we start the downswing, we want to rotate to our lead side so that my sternum, okay, so the sort of centre of my chest, if you like, the spine, goes over the ball. Okay, so if that's my golf ball there, I want to swing back and get my sternum over the ball. But what happens from here, this is the interesting thing, because from here what needs to happen, and we see this with the pros, is they get up. Okay, so the lead leg starts to straighten, the left hip starts to, or the lead hip starts to clear out of the way, and then the lead shoulder starts to go up. And when the handle then goes up, the club will downcock on the back of the ball. And then depending on your grip, you'll just need to introduce whatever amount of rotation to square the face. So it really is a case of, actually, it's not so much hitting down on the ball. You've actually probably got to feel like you're trying to hit more up on the ball. But if you're somebody who gets scared by that, that's because you're not moving correctly in the backswing and the transition. So for example, if you've got somebody who slides too much and the spine gets too vertical, if they move like this, then this won't work because that's too downwards, so they'd have to do something like this to compensate. So you want to understand, first and foremost, the importance of get a nice rotation in the backswing. Try and get that feeling of rotating your shoulder so you get your head behind the ball. And then from this position, what you want to practice is progressively shifting that weight towards that lead side. So again, your sternum covers your low point, i.e. where the ball is. But then from here, what I want you to practice, and this is what I've been saying to a lot of my students, is start practicing the feeling of actually getting up and then let your wrist down cock, like so. So you're not going to get a great impact position by sort of, you know, practicing holding onto this and excessively rotating, because that's just not the true sequence of the golf swing. What you need to understand is it's rotate back, rotate as you move your weight pressure towards the lead side, but then from here, yeah, okay, there's a bit of rotation, pull that lead hip out the way, but it's really about this extension, getting up and out of it, as you can hear, letting those hands drop that club on the back of the golf ball. And if you can start to do that, then what happens is you're going to sequence your swing where you can hear like that one, where actually it's going to feel more like you're hitting sort of up on the ball, like that, getting that nice contact. But because you're sequencing it correctly as well, you're also going to have that ability to get those hands ahead, up, this way. So that's what I would sort of practice. That's what I've been getting my students to practice. I get them to sort of practice, swing up, shift that weight towards the lead side so your sternum's over the ball, and then from there just sort of practice getting up and through the ball and just allowing that club to drop down on the back of the ball. And what you'll find is actually that feeling of hitting more up and not down will change that sequence and should help you in a big way. I'll see you guys again really soon.